Hey guys, it's Lou from Savvy Digital, and today we're going to be going through what exactly a paid search specialist does and what a Google Ads agency should be doing for you. So jumping straight into it, we have an example of a successful campaign on screen right now. This is a client of ours that ran a towing business, and you can see they spent around 1.5K over the course of 2 months, and they converted 234 times with an average cost per conversion of £6.38. So the conversions in this case were inbound leads in the form of phone calls and lead forms, and they converted around 50% of the time of each of those that came through. So as you can expect, with an average cost per conversion of £6.38 for a towing business that, basically each of their customers were worth around £60 to £90, that was incredibly profitable for them. Let's say 50% conversion rate in terms of closing them on the phone. You can see that rounds up to about £12 per sort of successful lead, and if they're getting revenue of around £60 to £90, that is a huge margin for them right now. So what does an actual search campaign look like? So you can see here, for example, I've typed in air conditioning installations, sort of a high ticket value offer that comes through for a service business that utilizes Google Ads very, very well. So you can see here, we have these top ones here, which are local search ads that kind of give you an idea of local service-based businesses that can advertise and show off their credibility straight away in a sponsored ad right here. But then we actually have general search ads here, so search intent ads, and you can see that we have air conditioning installers, we have all these different businesses that are advertising through these lines on Google search. So these are the search ads that we're looking at, and these are very useful for search-based businesses. So this is kind of where the paid search specialist comes into it. They basically formulate, they create the strategy, they do all the research to create these search campaigns and make them profitable for you. So what does the process entail? So first of all, a paid search specialist will go through and do competitor research. So the way that kind of goes along the lines of is they will give an example of a competitor, and they can use software such as SpyFu to actually look at the competitors' PPC campaigns. It will give them a rough idea of how much they're spending, the kind of clicks they're getting, as well as the paid keywords they're targeting. From there, you can actually go ahead and look at more details across in terms of who they actually compete against themselves. You can look at sort of overused keywords that aren't generating very well, and generally just get a whole idea of the campaign and how it looks in the industry that they're marketing in. And that'll give you an idea of how you can actually go about advertising for your business. From there, you can actually use the keyword ideas or keyword planner that Google has integrated into their software. And this is a great free to use platform that basically gives you an idea of the trends, give you an idea of the changes in terms of the 3-month span, and it gives you an idea of the average monthly searches, as well as how much you can be paying per click depending on how it appears on the page. So you can see here we've typed in aircon installation right here, and you can see the top result here, which matches exactly what we said. You can expect to pay as low as 40p for a top of page bid in the low range, and then for the high range it goes up to £1.86 to be right at the tippy top, advertising in front of your competitors. So you can see here they have #1 position here in terms of complete calling, and they are beating out their sort of position there. And you can see here as well, in terms of the keyword research, it gives some suggestions of related keywords that you might want to be interested in targeting when it comes to your campaign, as well as the amount of costs you want to be using. So the paid search specialist or Google Ads specialist will go through and look at the keywords that have, the lower competition in terms of services that basically apply to what you do, trying to bring in those inbound leads that are highly qualified and going to convert very well. Also, what else does a paid search specialist do? So they actually create the strategy and build campaigns around this. So if we go ahead and go into the example here, you can see if I go into the ad groups in the back end of this Google Ads search campaign, you can see that I've strategized this business to advertise towards 4 main sort of positionings in terms of the keywords and the services that they offer. So we have battery start, vehicle recovery, towing, and emergency/accident breakdown. So you can see the judgment comes with the actual idea of knowing what's going to work best for them and testing different things out. So you can see the battery start didn't work out well because it had a high cost per conversion. So we paused that, but everything else was running really well and averaged out a cost per conversion that was lower than the industry average. You can see here as well, they are generating a lot of conversions, very, very profitable for this business in general. And you also need to understand the need of the business. So they should be understanding exactly what you want to target and what you want to get out of it based on the average lifetime value of each of the customer and what service makes you the most money at the end of the day. So you can see here, vehicle recovery towing and emergency accident breakdown was the most profitable services for them, and that's what we ended up going with, considering that battery start was not producing the results they wanted. So the campaigns are built around this idea that they're trying to build up your sort of image around these services and make you look best suited in terms of the keywords that people are searching for around that topic. So the next thing that they should be doing is actually creating the ads for the business. So I'm not going to show you this, for example, but if I go ahead and go into this search intent here, look at the search queries and what appears when we type in air conditioning installation, you can see here, this is the copy that appears. So you have the headings themselves. So the headings can change with the new responsive search ads. You can have multiple headings in place, and then Google will determine how they want to position the headings based on what performs well with their algorithm. Alternatively, you can pin specific headings in certain places, whether that's 1, 2, or 3, depending on the position you want them to appear. So in some contexts, you'll see on some devices as well, they'll show up to 3 headings for each of the search ads, and you can interchange what you want to appear there if you want to do some split testing. So you also have the descriptions as well, which gives some additional sort of real estate to put in some more sales context, and also put in some USPs to kind of attract the clicker onto your ad and make them make the decision to go with you in the end. So as well as this, they should be actually going ahead and making sure all the relevant settings are in place as well. What does the relevant settings mean? This comes with the sort of idea of making sure that location targeting is correct, making sure you're actually having qualified leads coming through based on the demographics that you choose, as well as making sure that extensions are set up appropriately. So extensions are these little links here, and some additional buttons as well, as such as the phone number. And what these do for your business, basically add additional real estate to the ad initially, and also it adds opportunity to include promotional offers such as 20% off installation costs, as well as your phone number for a phone call extension, or number extension as well. And that could just open your business up to more leads coming through and make sure that you can get more eyes and more clicks. What do they do after that? So when it comes to producing, after actually launching the campaign and going ahead with that, they basically want to go ahead and produce ad results that are profitable for your company. So this could take up to 3 to 6 months, depending on the sort of competitiveness of the industry and how the search ads actually perform. And with continuous optimizations on an at least weekly basis, which comes with monitoring the keywords, the search queries, and make sure everything is up to scratch so you get the most qualified leads, they should be producing results that are actually quantified by return on investment over a prolonged period of time. Because of obviously the actual intent of running ads in the first place is to make sure that you're making more money than you're putting into the ads themselves. And obviously that should be actually covering the management fee and setup fee that they charge you initially. So it's something they should be considering. A great way to visualize that is actually produce reports for your clients, or your agency should be producing reports that visualize the data that is being performed, and month on month you should see increases in the performance. So I've got an example of what one of these reports look like. So I've produced this in Google Data Studio, and this shows you an example of one of the campaigns we're running, and you can see sort of the month on month improvements in terms of what results they were getting from the campaigns when we came into it. So you can see here that the clicks had increased, the click-through rate had increased, the impressions are slightly lower because we narrowed down the target audience, and you can see the conversions had increased by 100%, conversion rate was massively increased, and the cost per conversion fell by a quarter. You can see the cost also went up, and a few other things as well, which is to be expected with a more targeted campaign that is producing better qualified results. So that reporting is very important. A lot of agencies do that on a monthly basis to show you the actual performance, but our agency also includes weekly reporting to show the changes have made from the optimizations and why we have done that. In terms of the actual final point, in terms of what they should be doing for you, they should be actually judging whether your company or business will actually benefit from the search ads or Google ads in general. Because something important to understand is, even though Google ads is the largest advertising platform on earth, it is the biggest one, it's the biggest player, and obviously for a reason, because it works for most businesses. Sometimes it just isn't always the answer. Sometimes Facebook might be a better choice with the budget that you're using. Sometimes another platform might work better. It's something that they should consider all the way through. They shouldn't be jumping to take your money. They should walk you through what it can do for you and sort of the caveats as well as it comes along, because there's always pros and cons to any situation. It's their judgment by working with the different campaigns to judge that for you. Anyway, that's going to conclude the video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more Google Ads content. And watch the next video on screen right now to know how to get the most out of your Google Ads campaign. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.